What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Writer and the Fighter. I am your co-host, David Golden from OregonSportsNews.com, joined by your other co-host, Thunder Jake Smith from Vancouver, Washington, American top team Portland, and his bed because he's chilling and ready to call it. What's up, man?
I'm not part of Bellator MMA anymore.
And Bellator MMA. I couldn't remember what the other thing I always said was. It like slipped my mind.
Cut now, man. What are you doing?
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try to be funny and I just forget about the real stuff.
You can't replace one B with another B. You know, you gotta keep those things together.
Yeah. It's throwing me off because you have you got your haircut and it's like you look like a different man. It's throwing me off my whole game.
Yeah, comes with age. You know, I'm maturing like a fine wine.
Yeah, you've matured over time, over these last 3 weeks that we haven't been able to link up and record a podcast.
What happens, man? You know, I'm an engaged man now.
Yep.
I'm hunting for my first house to buy. I'm doing the grown up things now. You know, and cutting my hair is one of them.
Cutting your hair, buying houses, getting married, man.
Start, yeah. You know, let's start out with a haircut.
That's a good way to start. That's a good first move. You know.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened to me. I had to mature fast because my haircuts are for life now. I only, you know, keep it shaved, keep it high and tight, or tight and tight, I guess, because there's no high left.
Yeah, your hair matured faster than you could catch up there.
Oh, like a motherfucker. My hair was mature long before myself. I wouldn't really consider myself that mature now, but man, my hair was like ready to be like 65 when I was like 20.
Yeah, it was like 16 going on 70.
Yep. You know, if I wear my hat, I always look a little bit younger. You know, throw the hat on. People are like, "Oh, hey, this guy," and I take my hat off. I'm like, oh shit.
they go, "Hey, this guy with the hat," and he takes them. Oh, yeah. Get out of here, fucking old man Rivers.
That's right. That's how it goes.
Everything changes with the hat.
They're like, this guy looks cool. Invite him. Takes off his hat. Oh man, you fucking weirdo. Get out of here. What are you, 40? Yes, I am. Fuck you.
Fucking sheep in wolf's clothing.
Where's the right. No. Today I was looking at a quarter. It was on my table, dining room table. I was sitting there. It's like, that looks kind of old. I picked it up and it was like from 1980. And I was born in 81. I'm like, oh man. You know you're old when coinage your age starts looking real old to you.
What? That's a good indicator. Now I want to find like a 91 fucking nickel or something, you know? Just to see how good of shape it's in.
It's always the best when it comes up natural, you know, it just pops up in your pile of change. You're like, look at this. This thing looks old. You pick it up expecting it to be from like the 40s, and it's like 86. You're like, oh shit. Yeah. I imagine that was like the thing when I was a kid, and I'd find what were old coins to me, and they were like from the 70s, and my parents are like, man, fuck you.
Right? Yeah.
You know, but whatever. So first things first, how excited are you for football in 1 week from, you know, one more weekend? We're ready to go. You ready?
You have no idea.
You got a fantasy team?
I already got See, no one wants to play fantasy with me anymore. So.
Oh, that's rough.
I got no buddies. I got no buddies to play fantasy with, but that's okay because, you know what? I just back when I played fantasy, it consumed my life.
Dude, that's why I don't play it, man. It takes over my whole brain. That's all I think about.
And I'm so like balls deep into like the Steelers as it is now. Like,
yeah,
I don't need to worry about players. I just want to worry about my team. You know?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I'm the exact same spot.
I believe it was maybe a year and a half ago when the Athletic first started going. I was saying it to you. I was like, is it really? I can't see myself spending $60 a year or whatever it is to read a bunch of articles. Well, flash forward to where now I'm an adult with a haircut and a wife to be. I paid into the Athletic so I can read up all about the Steelers. That's all I want to do. That's all I do.
That's awesome. I watch. And how much better are those articles than the garbage you see on Yahoo Sports?
You know what? I still read I still go through my Google like fucking whatever recommendations of articles.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're way more in depth, but yeah. I mean, I did the trial and then I was like, I don't need it. And I went a week without it, and I was like, this is not as in depth as the good shit.
Yeah, Well, I like The Athletic. I get it. I'm not
Yeah.
subscribing right now personally, but you got to
Well,
put your money where you want to put your money.
when
But
you want like a free 30-day trial, let me know. I'll send it
right,
to you.
right on. Yeah. I've only done like 2 or 3 of those.
Oh, really?
Whenever there's a free trial for something, I just go, how many PayPal accounts do I have? How many email addresses do I have? You know what I mean? Because it's not gonna matter. You just sign up for as many times as you want. Like I've done that. I don't know how many times I've signed up for like Fight Pass before I actually subscribed. I mean, I must have gotten like 4 free trials before I even signed up.
Well, I didn't even think about doing PayPal and shit because I was like, I got multiple emails, but they always get me because of my card.
Yeah, you do it through your PayPal. They don't care about your card.
I wonder if I can use it as a write-off if I put it on my business account card for like UFC, like sports, all those things, right? And be like,
Maybe.
I'm studying film.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe. I mean, The Athletic has great mixed martial arts coverage.
Yeah, I mean,
You got a good tax guy? Talk to your tax guy.
I mean, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Like
There you go.
I'm pretty surprised. It even
Well,
got to the point where California goes, hey, how do we owe you money? Right? I'm like, I don't know. And my guy's like, oh, don't worry. I just got to show him that, this like something Bellator took out X amount of taxes out of your shit.
there you go, man.
Yeah.
You talk to that guy. That guy will get you your free athletic subscription.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's definitely the slimiest of the slime.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man.
Good way too. Like
Yeah, well that's what you need, man. You need somebody who works for you.
Yeah, man. He's Matt Linland's fucking accountant. He's mine.
Man, he's Matt the Law Linland's accountant?
You know he's dirty if he's doing that shit. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Amongst others. So
see, we even keep our tax talk MMA. What's up now?
Yeah, what's up, dudes?
Anyway, man, we have
mature we are. We talk about taxes.
That's right. We haven't talked in a minute, especially not about fighting. I mean, we've had we texted a little bit, but
yeah,
a lot of stuff has happened since we last talked. DC lost his fight to Stipe.
Right. I was just thinking that today too, and I was like, it's kind of weird to me. Like it surprises me, but it doesn't at the same time because Stipe. But I for sure saw DC winning that.
Oh,
I didn't even get to watch the fight.
It was an interesting fight, and there was like one moment that really won the fight for Stipe, and it's not the finger in the eye. It was like right at the end of round 2, he caught DC and just unloaded on him, and DC never really recovered in between rounds. And it was
same as last time. He got rocked early, and
yeah, but it wasn't just to the body. It was aggressive. Like he had him. He was going for the kill. He was on top of him. If I'm not mistaken, he had him mounted. Like he was just pounded on him, and he was saved by the bell. And if that 25-second thing doesn't happen, or however long it was, I can't remember. The fight could go totally different because DC was winning that round handily, and he probably won the first round. Like it's really interesting how this like one moment just changed the whole direction of the fight. And I guess that's true in the first fight. He started landing those body shots, and it changed the whole momentum of the fight. Same thing.
I felt like DC got hurt early in the first one, and that's why I thought he abandoned everything because it was
maybe
I can't remember which round it was. Me and you talked about it on an episode before.
It's been so long.
He gets caught bad by Stipe, and then after that, it's just like you can tell he's kind of on autopilot.
Yeah, you're right. We did talk about that. Yeah. This is a similar thing, only it wasn't just autopilot. He was clearly not 100% there. And then the finger in the eye. I don't know if you saw it, but it was like knuckle deep, man. That was gross. Like anytime someone comes out of a fight where their eye looks completely different, like it's like in a different position, their eyeball, that was a bad eye poke. And like, I don't think that lost him the fight, but it certainly didn't help.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Shit. Yeah. Yeah. For those, I guess, that don't know, I got engaged the same night as that fight. So that's why I missed it.
Worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Sure was. Like, yeah. I hope. We'll see. Time will tell.
Right. Time will tell. Yeah, for sure.
So far, so good. We're doing all right.
dangerous when you get married to a fiery Latin woman, you know?
Yeah, now she thinks she can like join the gym and do jujitsu and shit. And I'm like, hey, let's pump the brakes here, all right? First and foremost, you're gonna be marrying a guy who's known for striking, not for jujitsu. Okay, so you can't, right? You can't become better at jujitsu than me, right? You just that's not okay. I can't have that happen. So we're gonna learn boxing. God damn it!
Yeah, well, she doesn't have the legs for jiu-jitsu, man. She's not putting anybody in triangle choke. She's got a base, you know. She should be kicking people.
Yeah, she got that anger, you
You
know.
know, should be doing blast doubles on fools.
Yeah, well,
Just straight wrestling. Get her
yeah.
on the WUG card.
She placed in state.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, she does Simone. They're all fucking, you know. But I guess, I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm invading their territory, so I'm taking over their fucking plot and coming to Smith, and I'm taking their genes, and then we're gonna fucking have a second round draft pick. So
there you go.
Yeah, yes, take that, Simone's. You know, captured.
It's too good. But yeah, it's kind of weird that DC is just retired now. He even withdrew from yesterday. I read that he withdrew from the USADA testing pool, so that's about as official as it gets.
Well, I mean, he's what? He's 40. He's 40 something.
41.
Well, you know, he's been an Olympian. He's competed all his life, and you know, just you get to a point where you're just tired of being in pain. You know?
Yeah, right. Well, and not to mention, man, like he's doing lots of things that he loves. Like he's doing the commentary for the UFC. He's coaching wrestling in Gilroy. He's being a dad. Like and he still gets to compete in the gym if he wants. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they're going to kick him out of there. I'm sure he'll still be showing up there periodically, helping people out with their camps or whatever. Did you know he turned down a football scholarship to LSU to pursue his career in wrestling?
No way.
Yes way, Ted.
What position?
I don't know. I just saw that. I just read this. It was just this thing they were talking about DC, and they're like, here's a guy who did this, turned down a scholarship to LSU to play football to continue his dream of becoming an Olympian.
That's crazy.
Right?
That is crazy. Yeah, especially, you know, wrestling has no fucking money in it.
Yeah, but it's all that.
And then it worked out for him. I mean, you know, he had some rough periods. He had to live off Carl Jr., but you know.
Yeah. But still, that's kind of crazy. It just shows you what kind of a freak athlete DC is, you know.
Yeah, it just shows you how unfair the world really is when it comes to genetics. You know, there's just some people. There's just some people who could do whatever they wanted. Right? He could have been a star football player. Could have been, you know, he's a wrestling fucking phenom. He's a, you know, went up to heavyweight. You know, world champion there, light heavyweight. Like, all right, we get it. You fucking, you're awesome, man. Your parents fucking have some good shit in them.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's so true. It's funny. Like you start to think about like, oh yeah, you know, like if you put in enough work, you too can be this person. And then you see a guy like Mike Trout playing baseball, you know, like, and he's a completely different
built
entity.
Different. Yeah, like there's like up to like a certain age, like, oh, everyone's kind of the same. Everyone's, you know, kind of equal. And then about, you know, 13 to 15, that's when everything starts to change. You start, you got some extra shit in you. You know, that's when they grow fucking 7 inches in the summer. You know, put on 20 pounds. I was like, how in the fuck? Like, I think my growth spurt was like, I don't even know when it was, because I feel like I've been 5'9" since like 8th grade.
Dude, I hit 5'8" in 7th grade, like in between 7th and 8th grade. That was the last time I ever grew. I haven't grown an inch since. I've been the same height since 8th grade.
Yeah, I think that's what I've been too. I've been about the same.
Kind of whack. And before that, like 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, like always one of the bigger, taller kids too. Like it was never a problem. And then just stopped. Thanks, mom and dad. Assholes.
Yeah, yes, yeah, man, definitely. I remember always keeping a tally. Like every time I'd go into like a new class, like 6th grade, I'm like, all right, I'm about the 3rd tallest in the class. Okay, I can handle this. 7th grade, staying around, you know. And then high school comes around, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, Yeah, high school for sure. There's some tall kids, but my junior high, I went to a really big school, and so they bust kids in from all over the place, and there were some tall ass kids at my school. Like for sure, there were kids in my junior high that were 6 feet tall, and so I was just like, all right, this is just how it's going to be. I'm no longer am I going to be one of the tallest people, but I'm strong, whatever, no big deal. Thought I was cool.
Yeah.
Man, it was a rude awakening for my stature. I was just like, not growing anymore. But whatever. I contend that that's when I got into girls and skateboarding, and I stopped playing competitive sports and I stopped growing. So that's what I say to myself.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I would have took that route, But
Right?
I was just, man, I just haven't hit my growth spurt yet.
Yeah.
I
was like, fuck it. I'm 13. I got a skateboard and I want to go meet girls. That was all I cared about. So, it was like that, playing video games with my friends. Like I was not trying to play sports. I had bigger fish to fry as far as I was concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, did you fry any of those fish?
I maybe, I don't know. I guess that depends on what you consider success as a kid, but maybe.
That's only for the video people.
Yeah, we'll keep it PC here. Anyway, man. Yeah. So DC's a freak athlete. Congratulations on a great career. I still love him. I think he was a great fighter, good champion.
Oh, dude, for sure. If I had to rank, my favorite champions of all time, I think he's definitely probably up there.
He's for sure up there in mine. There was never, aside from the John Jones, like the John Jones saga, there's no controversy with DC, right?
Even then, he was still the good guy, right?
Exactly. And it's not like Mighty Mouse, who is like one of the greatest fighters that we've ever seen, ever. Like, he always had the stigma of, yeah, well, there's just not anyone good in that division. Like, you didn't hear that about DC, And like, even when DC, my favorite moment was when he went into the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix as he was a backup, and he went in and he wins the thing. Like, oh my God, that was so cool. And now, now we have, all these other fights to look back on, and it's pretty amazing. But
right, his coming out party was really that Josh Barnett fight.
Yeah, man, for sure, that fight was crazy. And you're an alternate in this wild ass tournament, and I think nobody gave him a chance.
Man, you know what? That tournament was so great. It had so many matchups I was so excited for. I was so excited to see Overeem and Barnett. I wanted to see who else was in there? I want to say Verdum was in it.
I think he was.
Verdum was. Yeah, Overeem beat him in a boring ass fight. But Verdum. Wait, did Verdum and Barnett fight each other in the UFC?
I can't remember, man.
Anyways, but that would have been a great fight back then with those guys. Or what was his name? Karatanov. I wish they would have. I wish they would have done the bracket a little different. I wish Verdum and Barnett would have been on the same side, and Karatanov and Overeem or Fedor or whoever. Keep the strikers. Fighting the strikers. Yeah. That would have been a little bit more fun.
Yeah, for sure. But it was still like at the time, it was kind of like at the peak of when like MMA was like just accelerating in popularity, like the UFC had the Ultimate Fighter like probably in, I don't know, season 4 at that point or something like that. I don't really remember, but like it was still like when everything had ramped up, and then there's Strikeforce coming along like all of a sudden with this wild Grand Prix, and it was so cool. But to see DC and that was awesome.
Yeah. It was great. Strikeforce was definitely on its way up. It was nipping at the fucking UFC's hill. I mean, obviously, if you went and bought a mountain, whatever, and then we saw who became champions and all that shit from Strikeforce. It's interesting to me to see how, because I watched Strikeforce when it first started. I remember the very first all right, let me take that back. When Strikeforce first got their Showtime deal, that's when I started.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about the whole regional scene. But it was the first Showtime special fight that they were going to show. It was KJ Noons and Crazy Horse, Charles Bennett. Yeah. I know either of them were there. I just kept seeing it pop up because I was watching boxing at the time. and they'd fucking just pop up. I was like, who the fuck is this Crazy Horse guy, right? And then I watched the fight, and it was a fucking, it delivered. Was a knockout like everyone said it was gonna be. And then he did his fucking backflip and all that shit. And yeah, man. You had Gina Carano, fucking. And I hope there's a Strikeforce documentary someday. I think.
Man, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You just spoke that into reality, man. That's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna do that. That's a great idea.
Right.
Like because there was just so much that happened there. Like Frank Shamrock. You got the Diaz's. You've got.
Fucking Baroni. You remember when they were gonna fight each other? That was all hyped up and shit. Like I thought Phil Baroni was the real deal too. I had no idea. Well, I mean, he's good, but like, I didn't know shit back then. I was like, oh man, this Phil Baroni guy's fucking badass. Da, da, da. Frank Shamrock just lights him up, tells him he's gonna go to sleep, and then fucking puts him out. It's dope.
When whoa there, crazy guy. When Frank Shamrock was gonna fight, or right before his fight with Nick Diaz, he had he came out on it at halftime of the San Jose Sharks game, and I was at the game, and he came out and he gets on the mic. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna win, and you guys should come, and da 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 da. And the next day, he just gets destroyed.
It's just beat up by the Diaz. Yeah, that was kind of sad to watch, but that was the day I became a Diaz fan too.
There you go.
Specifically, yeah, I was like, oh shit, who's this guy?
Strikeforce.
I kind of knew who he was, but yeah, Strikeforce was the shit, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, DC, your legacy is more than just Strikeforce. Thanks for the memories, big guy. Directly, though, connected to DC, we have at the same time, after that fight, I don't know if it was right before or right after, John Jones declares that he is relinquishing the 205-pound title and moving up to heavyweight. He's just okay, I'm good. I'm gonna drop this belt because nobody's gonna beat me, and I'm gonna go try to take the heavyweight strap from Stipe.
Well, okay, so I've been seeing this circling around though. They're talking about Brock Lesnar and John Jones.
Yep, that's the big dream matchup out there that people are talking about, which I think is
I don't understand
stupid.
Why. Just because you got a giant hulking white man versus a giant hulking black man. Is that what people want to see? Is that in this climate?
I think what it is that they know that that's going to sell the most pay-per-view buys, and so they're hyping it up.
I think they want to see a black guy beat the shit out of a big ass white guy.
There might be a little bit of that in it too, man. But I really think it. Huh?
I'm joking, obviously.
Oh well, I mean, it could be a little bit of that. Honestly, it like you said, in this climate, who knows? But I think it's just Brock Lesnar still sells tickets, man. He's still got that WWE thing that people want to buy it. I don't fucking get it, man. It's his last fight was not good. He's not going to beat John Jones.
Yeah, what was he going to do? Try to wrestle him, right? Okay, cool. Check out this armbar,
Check out this armbar. Check out this knee to your face while you try to take him down. John Jones is going to time you out so fast. Look at how bad Kane lit him up, and tell me John Jones is not going to light him up.
Not about Kane, yeah.
Kane fucking just that was the greatest performance Cain Velasquez has ever had.
Yeah.
It was
Big Nog.
I
think it was better than Big. I think Big Nog was better.
I think Big Nog is more impressive. To someone who knows MMA, but
Junior Dos Santos fucking beatings though.
No, and those were crazy. I just think his most perfect peak performance was that Brock Lesnar fight. There was nothing Brock Lesnar could do in that fight that was going to change the way it went, and it was just it was so fluid and it was so fast, and it was I don't know, man. It was just a perfect beating. I don't know, man.
It just looked like when you go to those amateur fights, it's oh, clearly one person trains at a gym, the other person doesn't. That's what it was like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is Brock Lesnar did always throughout his career as an MMA fighter was dealing with that diverticulitis and all these issues he was having. So who knows if Brock Lesnar was 100% healthy, how it would have gone for him. I have no idea, but Kane whooped his ass. And I'm just saying, if Kane put it on you like that,
Yeah.
Like, you better believe John Jones can put it on you like that, because John Jones is one, way bigger than Kane, like
Yeah.
proportionally. Two, his cardio is every bit as good as Kane's ever was, even at his peak. Three, his striking is pretty solid. He may not be as pinpoint accurate a boxer as Cain Velasquez in his prime was, but man, John Jones is so creative with strikes. I don't know that Brock Lesnar would ever be able to understand where the strikes were coming from. There's no way he'll see those elbows.
Yeah, he'll be too gun shy, like kind of how he was against Overeem. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know any good like matchups for Brock. Like if Brock were to come back, say he trains for however long to get ready, like I would hope they would go, you know what, hey, let's give you a tune-up fight, right? Let's give you someone who's a little lower, a little less known, and then let's give you John or Nagano or whoever. I'd rather see Nagano, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's a fight he might be able to win.
well, exactly, right. But on top of that too, I mean, they're both giant men.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Brock's probably stronger than Nagano, so
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so
maybe.
Seeing those two lock up would be great.
I would like to see Brock Lesnar and Josh Barnett, even though like just because you have Josh Barnett is like he loves to wrestle, Brock loves to wrestle, but Josh Barnett he's been around so long, he knows what he's doing. They're both old. Like, we got the old man circuit going. One's like a total jock, one's a total nerd. Like, it's perfect.
My only fear is that it would be like a Frank Mir beating.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
But I think I think throughout his career has shown, and I think they actually fought too. I think Barnett's the better fighter. I think he's better at submissions too. Is that weird thing is that a bold
a little bit weird, because Frank Mir has like the most submissions in the history of the heavyweight division in the UFC.
On like the record, like you look at his record, not like him in the UFC, because that's the only place Frank has fought, right?
Yeah. Well, I understand that Josh Barnett has more total. I'm just saying, like, it would be a hard claim.
Or is it just? Or are they talking about their entire career?
I don't know, man. I mean, if you want to talk their whole career, maybe Josh Barnett edges them out. But Josh Barnett put a lot of ground and pound beatings on people, and I mean, maybe that's a credit to him as a better fighter. You're right. Like, he doesn't have to just win by submission. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Frank Mir. I like Josh Barnett, but I still think Josh Barnett, Brock Lesnar is a fun fight.
What are we doing? We're living in like fucking 2010 right now.
Yeah, we are.
This whole conversation.
Hey, Jake, you see this quarter? 1983. Yeah, man. Well, I don't know if I love John Jones giving up the title or not. I feel kind of like
why he doesn't go for champ.
So I don't think that he wants to try to maintain a 205 career, like if he's going to move up to heavyweight, because he likes to lift and he likes to get big. And if you recall, when he was really, really big and bulky was when he fought OSP, and we saw that John Jones. So I imagine he just is like, look, I need to move up and not be cutting this weight if I'm going to be moving up. At least that's my thought. I mean, that's kind of makes sense, right? Like, because if you're going to move up to heavyweight, and if you're John Jones, like, embrace that that size, man. You can put a little on if you want. Maybe try to build up those skinny ass legs.
That'll never happen. Try. Could definitely try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, what was it? He was like gloating about like deadlifting like 400 pounds or some shit, right? Something. I don't know. It was something. I was like, I've done that once.
Yeah. Well, I still think it's a little bit weird and a little bit surreal to think that John Jones is no longer the champ, and like won't be unless he drops back down. They already scheduled a title fight. So
with Nagano? No. Are you talking about? Oh, you mean
205?
No, okay. It's Jan Blachowicz and
yeah.
Right. Who you got?
I'm
gonna go Blachowicz. I don't like Reyes.
Yeah, so
he's getting too caught up in his own hype.
that's kind of what I was just gonna say. Like part of me says he's the better overall fighter, but like, you know, you never know. I mean, you never know. You know, how do you say his name? Blakovic or Blakovitz?
I just said
I
block.
I hear it pronounced different ways. Anyway, we'll call him Jan, right? That's his name, Jan.
I'm gonna call him Jan.
Janny,
Yeah,
little
because
Janny Blocks.
yeah, his name's Jan.
All right, all right, Jan Blocks. He's like pulled out wins when you don't expect it from him. So I'm kind of feeling like that's a benefit to him. And then you have Reyes who's buying his own hype, and that's huge. And it'll be 5 rounds. So we saw what happens to Reyes if he's trying to stay for a full 5. I mean, granted he was trying to stay super active, but like, I don't know, man. Danny Blocks has heavy hands, and
yeah, they
John
both
Jones
so.
is not typically known for his heavy hands, right? So, you know, I'm with you, Danny Blocks. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going with Jan just because like I feel like the Eastern Europeans right now are just they're just kind of making their wave over right now. I think right now is like I feel like there's eras in MMA, right? Like you had the Brazilian era, you had the Japanese era, then there was like the All American fucking wrestler stuff, and then like now I feel like we're getting into now the Europeans are starting to figure out some bullshit. So now we're getting the Dagestanis and the fucking Russians are starting to come over. Like there's some fucking nasty Russians out there, man.
Yeah, that's no joke. But I certainly don't think he's going to be the favorite. I haven't looked at the odds yet. I suspect Reyes will be the favorite,
Sure.
and like that's a live dog. You know what I mean? Like if you're building up a parlay, you want a live underdog. It's a live dog right there, man. Like he could definitely pull it out. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It does definitely make 205 way more interesting.
A fight I guess it's already been announced, but Woodley and fucking Colby. That's finally gonna get happening.
Yeah, that's exciting for Colby.
I got my money on Colby.
I think Colby's gonna whoop his ass.
I do too.
Yeah, I think Woodley has lost it. He's lost it entirely. It got up and it left him.
Once athletes start trying to start a rap career, that's immediately when their fucking sports career go to shit. Every single and literally look at it. Go back to any athlete. Once they start rapping, that's when their fucking careers go to here. Le'Veon Bell, all throughout the time with Steelers. Once he starts going, I need my money now, right? He starts making rap albums, right? Gets fucking free agent, whatever. Look at his career the last season. It was garbage, right? He's not doing what. Adam Gase wants nothing to do with him. Sticks him on. He fucking signed Frank Gore. Like, okay. And then let's go. Example number 2. Okay. Roy Jones Jr., right? He had his little fucking little rap thing going on for a minute too. He was jumping up to heavyweight and shit. He was fucking, can't be stopped, can't get moved, and all that shit. Now, it's fucking punchy as shit. Right?
Yeah. Well, we have the one exception here in Portland, man. Dame Dollar.
Listen,
Dame's good, man. He's a good rapper, and he balls hard.
But listen, I'm you know what? I'm on the Dame hype train and all that shit, right? I'm down with that. But he got an MVP, right? And then after that MVP, he started rapping and everything, started promoting man. What's happened? He's been out of the playoffs in the first round this year, right? Last year he got eliminated in the second.
They made it to the Western Conference Finals last year.
Whatever. He still didn't. Anyway.
And he's the reason they got where they got in the bubble. I'm just saying he might be the lone exception, and he's really good. Like I typically don't fall for the athlete turned rapper, but he's good. He's a good rapper, man. Like really? Shockingly good. Yeah, he's really good.
Oh wow, okay.
Like I am highly critical, and like he's fucking good, man.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe there's an anomaly out there. Well, who knows? But
yeah,
I feel pretty good about my my.
But Woodley is not beating Colby. That's not happening. Do we know where Colby went to train after he left ATT? Do you know where he's at?
No idea. I don't know. Because I know Woodley's been training with Masvidal. right?
Uh-huh.
And I think Woodley was already at ATT at one point, and then he went to what's his fuck Rufus, right? So
Sports.
I think he trains in between both or something.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, I have no idea about where Colby went. I was expecting, I honestly expected him to come out here just because of like, I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe he just switch ATT camps, kind of like, all right, I got all this heat over here. Let me come over here and work with some of these guys out there. But
Yeah.
nope.
No. Well, I think he definitely is going to light up Woodley. I don't see that even going to a decision. I bet Colby finishes him in the first or second.
Oh, you think he finishes him?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Woodley's got it anymore, man. I think Colby's.
I don't think he finishes him. I think he just.
Much like his the other fight where he with Usman where it ended up being all stand up. I think you're going to see Colby. You're going to see Colby one show that he's a better wrestler now, like for sure show that like, look, I'm going to be the more dominant wrestler in here. And then when he has Woodley like frustrated and upset, he's going to get up. He's going to let him get up. He's going to knock him out.
He's going to piece him up like he was Robbie Lawler, just constant.
Yep. I mean, it's either going to be like he's going to light him up on the feet and then start taking him down just to fuck with him, or he's going to take him down, he's going to start beating him up, and then when they get up,
yeah,
put it on him.
Yeah, because Woodley only has that right hand.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't I don't know. He doesn't really set it up.
And I will always go back to the knockout loss Woodley had to Nate
Marquardt.
Nate Marquardt. Yeah. Because it was just like, it's like if you think that Colby doesn't have hands at least like that clean, you're crazy. And Nate Marquardt is a decent striker, but like, he was never a champion. He fell off a lot of times, and I feel like Colby
was the Strikeforce champ.
Yeah. But I mean, when he was back in the UFC, he never crested where he thought he would. And but that fight with Woodley was huge, and he did knock him out. I'm just saying, I feel like Colby is going to be able to do that much to him.
Yeah.
I just see it.
Yeah, Marquardt at the time though was a motherfucker, because that was like right after he got released from the UFC or whatever.
Yeah.
He dropped to 170. And then he went through a tear at that point when he knocked out Woodley. He beat up someone else. He was definitely hot. And then I believe he pissed hot.
I want to say he pissed hot before he went in, and then when he came back to the UFC after, right? Hasn't he pissed hot a couple times?
You might be right, but I want to say he pissed hot either right before he went on that run and we dropped to 170, or right after. Maybe both.
Yeah, he definitely caught the hot pisses.
He was supposed to fight Rick. That's right. He's supposed to fight Rick Story at 170 pounds in the main event. And then what happened was he tested positive or whatever. He got pulled from, or he was on direct or some shit. He got pulled from the card. Rick Story, his only main eventing slot, he gets dropped down to, I think, the opener of the main, and he had to fight Charles Brenneman on short notice and lost the decision. I remember that because I had to help. I was helping Rick get ready for that fight.
Yeah. Well,
Rick kicked me so hard in the body that my whole spine adjusted. It went pop, 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 pop. It was crazy. It was like my first experience, like training. Well, outside of like Mike Pearson, those guys, because he wasn't really a part of Rose City when I went to go train with him. So it was like my first, like, oh shit, here's a ranked top 10 fucking dude, and I got to go train and shit. Yeah, that was interesting. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah. Well, I still think I'm with you there, man. Colby's gonna put it on him. I just don't see.
I think the odds are gonna be in Woodley's favor for some odd reason. You don't think so?
No
way. A lot of people
are
sleeping on Colby. I do, no. And if so, I'm putting money on that one.
People might be, but I'll tell you who won't be: Las Vegas. Like I would be shocked if Colby is not the favorite in that fight. Shocked. It would blow me away.
Well, if he's if he's not, I got some money for it. So
yeah, if he's not, put plenty of money on it. If he's not, let me know. I'll put money on it. Shit, that's free money in my book, because I just don't see how Woodley's gonna get this done. Tyron Woodley really, like, if he loses badly enough, this could be his last fight. Like, he might retire.
Well,
he had the whole commentary thing going for the UFC, and he's pretty good at it too. Like when you hear him in interviews, he's so put together. You have a lot of fighters that get on and they get into interviews and they're just like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. And
uh,
I get it. Like if you're that fighter, you probably had to do like 15 of those interviews that day or whatever. Like if you're on a thing where you're just going doing the rounds, because some fighters do that. But like, come on, man, bring a little bit to the table. Woodley always brings it. Whenever he gets interviewed, he used to bring it all the time, and then he started doing the commentary, and I thought he was really good at it.
yeah.
He's got a little of that Rashad Evans in him, in that, like, he puts it out there in a good way, like that you can digest. Sometimes some of those guys just
He's articulate. He doesn't he doesn't have any fat in his wording.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed. It's like I watch a lot of sports casting and stuff, and that's the main thing I try to pick up on. Like when I watch it, is what they do for the in betweens, and there's not a lot of in betweens. Like me, I pander a lot. I do. I gotta I think faster than I can speak. So like I have all these things I have to digest, and I got to think about it for a second. Where, the pros, they're just Ryan Clark's my favorite example. Like when you watch him, he has no no ums. It's boom, 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 boom. So
Yeah.
For any fighters who are listening to this, you three people, practice that if you want a job after fighting.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah, for sure.
Don't do it.
Sure. Well, you can do a podcast and you can say as much as you want, but it still doesn't come across the way you want it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I forget how we just got there. Oh, Woodley getting beat up. That's right.
Yeah. We're just talking about we think we're going to beat up soon.
Yeah. Well, I think that those were like the big things that happened in the sport while you and I were not able to get together and podcast. But there's plenty of stuff coming up. I mean, we've got this weekend we have the UFC, and you have Alistair Overeem on that card. You have the guy he's fighting, Augustus Sakai. He's a Japanese Brazilian guy. Mm-hmm. He's pretty legit, man. He's got some big wins on his record, and he's got a bunch of wins in Bellator and a bunch of wins in the UFC. He's only got one loss.
Yeah, he's one of those dudes who's very unassuming. Like you look at him and just go, oh, okay. Like it's gonna, but no, he's sneaky good.
Right. I think it's a more dangerous matchup for Overeem than people are suspecting. I mean,
I think anything Overeem does is dangerous at this point. Like I think I'm afraid of him brushing his teeth and like him just like nicking his chin, fucking wise, shit, and just going to sleep. And I love Overeem, man. That was my dude. Like I'm in one of his documentaries. He still has me a shirt. And fucking he has like 80 fucking 100 fights. He's been knocked out like 30% of them. So he needs to stop.
Yeah, man.
Like, he keeps saying like, oh, I'm gonna make this final run and get that final belt. No, you will not get that belt. I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Nope. Not gonna happen. You might get a belt like in some like regional show, or maybe if you go back to Japan and they create a heavyweight division for you.
Hey, come back over to Bellator, or come back over to work for Scott Coker. I'm sure you can win that belt.
Yeah. Oh, that's something we didn't even mention is the heavyweight champ in Bellator lost his light heavyweight title.
Yeah.
He got pieced up.
That guy's good. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Like that guy, I've seen him fight a few times, and he's just fucking nasty. And that setup he had for that high kick, just wrapped around right in the head, like feinted the right hand, dipped it, and bop, came right around the shoulder. It was beautiful.
Yeah, man. And you had the ref gave Bader every possible opportunity in the world.
Yeah.
And Bader gets knocked out like twice in one round, basically. Like, man.
Those refs in Connecticut, not the best, maybe not the greatest. But hey, at least they're like, we're gonna let you kind of die out here. They give you a chance.
Yeah,
they hit you in the back of the head. That's okay. You might die, but that's okay. We're okay. Right, Connecticut.
Yeah.
We're cool. We're okay.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the other thing is though, like if you stop the fight too early, everybody's like, oh man, you stopped it too. Like
Right? Yeah.
there's no perfect stoppage. Come on, man.
Like unless he's lifeless, you know.
Yeah, like it's one of those ones they like Terry Etim when he got the when what's his name
Yeah.
Barbosa
Yeah, Barbosi.
hit him with that spinning kick, and that dude was out on his feet long before he hit the floor.
Yeah, that
You knew
motherfucker
that one was
snoring.
over.
He was snoring before he touched it. As soon as it clipped his chin, he
Yeah, that was a rough
that's
one. He
just
was
scary. What happened to him? After that, he just fucking disappeared. That's just scary as hell.
yeah. Terry Etim was pretty good too
Well, it was,
back when he's on his run.
yeah, he was triangling a bunch of fools and shit. I remember him.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, not very many of the, and at the time it was like there weren't that many British fighters like really pushing it, making runs.
Yeah, see,
So,
that was during the British invasion, right? Like I was saying,
uh-huh.
there's all these fake Dan Hardy, Michael Bisping, that fucking dude. There was a few other fucking British cats too that were kind of like him hawing around. Fucking Brad Pickett.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, everything's got its fucking phases. We're in the fucking shitty ass European phase right now. This sucks.
Yeah, well, we're also in the phase where there's a fight. There's a fight card like every weekend, and it makes it impossible to stay on top of entirely. You know what I mean? Like it's just too many fights.
Too many
Like
people.
yeah, what are you supposed to do with all of that? You know, it's like it's a lot. It's just a lot.
Catch what you can until football starts, and then you say, "Fuck fighting."
Then you're like, when's the pay-per-view? I'll watch that one.
Yeah. How can I stream it?
Yeah. We should get together and have a football Sunday where Jordan can come over and watch. We can teach him how to love football.
I don't see it happening. I mean,
I don't either. I'm
him
kidding.
loving it part, but I'm definitely down for a football Sunday. You know that.
Yeah.
Which, if anyone who comes to my Monday class listens to this on the 14th, because next Monday is Labor Day, no practice. The 14th also there will be no practice, as it is a national holiday called Monday Night Steeler Football. So,
You guys open up on Monday night?
what? Yeah,
Is that
against the Giants, bro.
That's awesome. I love a Monday night opener. It kind of sucks though because on Sunday your team doesn't play. You're watching all that other football. You're like, damn it. But then Monday under the lights.
You know what's funny? I'll be coming back. So I actually leave for South Dakota next week to go corner Johnny James. He's fighting Nick Maximoff.
Really?
Yeah, the Diaz boys, dude. Took it on short notice. So we're flying out there, just me and him flying out there, and then I'll be back Sunday, I think, Saturday or Sunday. So I won't even see football until Monday.
Well, good. I send my best to Johnny. I've been pulling for that guy for a long time.
I think this is the fight, man. I mean, obviously it's in the other guy's favor a little bit.
Yeah, man. That's a
shape. His striking's on point. I think I gave him a pretty good game plan. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But what I'm that I'm getting psyched and pumped about is I'm hoping Nick or Nate Diaz is cornering this Nick guy, right? And then they start doing their fucking like, what shit. It's because like I love the Diaz's, but I'll fight him too.
Right.
Like I'm a ride or die. So they start talking that shit to Johnny. Like I'll fucking 209 his dick. You know what I'm saying? Fucking drop a 360 with these balls on their forehead.
Well, it would be exciting and it would be in the news for sure. We would definitely hear about that. But Nick Maximov's no joke. That's a fight for Johnny James. But
yeah, he's got good rap. But I think Johnny's gonna. Yeah, I believe in Johnny.
Johnny James, if there's one thing that kid can do is, man, he can hit really hard. I mean, at least that's what it appears to me when I've seen him fighting. And I feel like if he can land a combination on you, it might be a short night, but we'll see.
He's fast,
super athletic.
I pride myself on my hand speed, right?
Right.
And I will say that in the whole gym, I'm talking from 125, 115, all the way up to 205, heavyweight, whatever. Like, there's only like a couple people in the gym where I go, okay, they're as fast as me or faster. And Johnny's one of those guys. Yeah. Outside of that, I think I'm the fastest guy in the gym. And so like when I say like Johnny's one of those guys when I go with him, when me and him are going, I have to turn up a gear. Like I know I'm like, okay, I gotta be on my fucking mic because he moves well, he's smooth, he knows how to switch stances like me, and he's smoother than I am. I'll say that. He's way more smooth than me.
Yeah.
So I think that helps his speed too, because there's no fat on it, on when he throws. It's just crisp. He's moving. He's So I'm excited. I mean, I was really excited when I got the call, and he's like, they asked me to kind of take on the coaching role for him, and so we'll see what happens.
Is that what your meeting was about the other day?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah.
No, that was more. That was for me. That was about. We just went over like my fight. Just hey, this is what we need to work on. We did this well. Let's address these areas. Stuff like that. Which was great. Like we haven't done that before, so that was great. So.
That's good, man. That's good. Well, I mean, we just covered a lot.
Yeah.
This is
you got way more
this is good
out of me too. So I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. When we came in, Jake, I was worried you weren't going to make it beyond the 30-minute point, but somehow I kept you interested. It's because I sprinkled in football. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Every like 15 to 10 minutes, throwing some football related. I'm like, shit, here I am. I wake up.
Somebody hit me up today asking me for advice on their fantasy thing. They're like, hey, I'm in a keeper league. I was going to get rid of all my players. Should I keep any of these guys? I was like, yeah, you should keep a couple of those guys. Yeah. He had Tyler Lockett, and he was just gonna like throw him back. I was like, don't throw back Russell Wilson's favorite receiver, bro. Just keep him.
He just picked up Josh Gordon though. So you got DK Metcalf, Josh Gordon, and Tyler Lockett to DK Metcalf. I don't know, man. He might be the next target.
So here's the deal. Josh Gordon is still technically suspended, and if
being reinstated.
Yeah, but he still has a suspension to serve. I want to say he still has a 6-game suspension to serve. But even if he doesn't, the whole thing is now you don't have teams doubling Tyler Lockett because they're going to be forced to cover Metcalf and they're going to be forced to cover Gordon. So now you have one-on-ones with Tyler Lockett downfield, and that's a dream and a half for Russell Wilson. And I don't like the Seahawks, and it is hard for me to just sing their praises here, but if that's your receiving core, you can't double all of them, and so Tyler Lockett's going to keep getting that ball. I mean, DK Metcalf will definitely get his run, but Tyler Lockett's gonna get half of Russell Wilson's touchdown passes. Russell Wilson doesn't actually throw a ton of touchdown passes, but still, Tyler Lockett's going to have like 15 touchdowns, I bet.
Yeah, it's because the way for some reason the Seahawks are like, we're just going to run the ball. Like you have Russell Wilson, like. He's better than Aaron Rodgers. Like after this season, he will be statistically better than Aaron Rodgers as a QBR rating. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No question. And the other thing is like the one thing about Russell Wilson is he has all these comebacks and all these like fourth quarter wins, and that's specifically because Pete Carroll doesn't put him in a position where he's allowed to coast on a game because he's like, forget it, we're just going to keep running the football, see? And it's like, hey, I'm all for running the football, but like if you're behind every game and you have 6 or 7 come from behind victories a year only because you have like one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league, that's probably a direct reflection on you as a coach. Maybe do something different.
And not to mention their shitty O-line they've had for the past, how many years.
Dude, that's the most frustrating thing is if you have a team that can rush Russell Wilson, even if you have the best pass rush, good luck. That dude disappears and escapes like nobody else. So having to play that guy twice a year is not something I look forward to as a 49er fan.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, man. Do you think you guys are going to have a Super Bowl hangover?
I don't think we'll have a Super Bowl hangover. I think what's going to happen is this kid Kinlaw that they brought in the first round to replace DeForest Buckner, who they traded away. He's not done well in training camp, and so I think their defensive line is going to have some issues. They're not going to get the pass rush the way that they expect, and I think that might play a factor. But the secondary has improved, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Niners are going to the Super Bowl. It's unlikely that a team's going to repeat, but it really depends on how people have game planned to go against their zone run blocking, because their offensive line is better than it was last year, and they still have the same running backs, and they got back their prize running back. So we'll see what happens, man. I'll be interested to see. I still expect that they'll probably make it a 12-win season minimally. And that should be good enough to get them in the playoffs. But, we'll see what happens. I don't expect them to be as hot as they were. Huh?
17 playoffs.
Yeah.
7 seeds. So they'll definitely be in now, or for sure. I mean, I don't see them not making the playoffs. I don't know if they'll win the division. I think the Seahawks will probably win your guys' division. But
it's questionable because their defense hasn't really, aside from bringing in one safety, their defense hasn't really improved. So I'm a little bit less worried about the Seahawks than I am other teams. The team that's like sneaky good that I'm worried about is Arizona, because
I'm hearing a lot about that because Kyler Murray. Some people are saying, oh, he's going to be the next. Some people have predicted that he'll be the next MVP.
No,
second season. Yeah. I think Kyler Murray is okay. I don't think he's that great. I don't think he's that spectacular. Yeah, he has a Hopkins, but he also has an old-ass Fitzgerald, which it is Fitzgerald, but 18 years is still 18 years.
Yeah. My thing is we played them twice, and last year, and seeing them at the towards the end of the season, they were a different team. They were really firing on all cylinders, and it like compared to
trash.
Huh?
The Steelers destroyed Arizona.
I'm not saying that
the season.
Yeah. But you're focusing on one game. I'm just saying, if you look at how they played towards the end of the season versus how they played at the beginning, it's not every single game, but like if you look at how they played much better towards the end of the season. And I think Kyler Murray has improved and will continue to improve. We'll see what happens. They just worry me because when you have a quarterback that can be a game changer, that really makes a difference. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm just I'm excited. I'm just excited. I'm ready for it to go. Just want it to happen.
Real quick, before we go though, your boy from Notre Dame has been making some waves, some headlines, man.
Told you, man.
People are saying like he's gonna be, Joe Hayden, because the way like the Athletic can do the reporting and stuff, they can't be like there's specific shit that the NFL says you're not allowed to like talk about. So like they have to like wiggle their way around it. But they're talking about how he basically mossed a Pro Bowl corner, right? And was catching touchdowns or whatever. Comes out that Pro Bowl corner was Joe Hayden, right? So obviously, but so like everyone's saying like he's the real deal. Like he's been he's one of those guys. He makes one mistake and that's it. Like he gets it right away. So I'm pumped for that.
Dude, he's one of those big receivers that also has the athleticism to take over when you're talking about running routes. If you get that guy the ball while he's in stride, the other team is fucked. Like he's gone. Yeah.
Can't wait.
He's so good. I'm beyond jealous that you guys got him. It's a great pickup. It's a great pickup. He's really good.
This is be our second Notre Dame guy. I hope that extends to the Hall of Fame. Yeah,
you know what?
Now we got
from your lips to God's ears, man. We'll see what happens. I'm all for it. I love Chase Claypool, man. I hope he does. I hope he does big things. He's a good dude. And how many Canadians are in the NFL? You know what I mean? Like
Canadian of all that.
All right. Well, shit, man. This has been fun. Yep. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that. If you didn't enjoy the football stuff, I hope you turned it off before we got here. But if you listened all the way through, double thank you. And
podcast because like it's football season, so go fuck yourself. That's how it's gonna.
It's gonna. There's gonna be football sprinkled in for the next 20 weeks or so. But we'll try to not take off too many weeks now. We're trying to get back in the groove here, make sure we can stay consistent. But it's as I say, life be lifing, and I think Jake, you've adopted that term. Works for you, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So we'll hopefully not have too many interruptions. But thank you everyone for listening. Make sure you follow Jake on all social media. He is at UberSmitty. You can catch me on Twitter. I'm at David Golden MMA, and we'll talk to y'all next week. Thanks.
All right, dude.